I started my own business because the furniture store that I was working at was closing their doors after 80 years. And I loved working there, and my goal was always to have my own business someday. So this kind of forced me into making someday that day. And so that's how it all started. And it seemed like, an accident or even a negative at the time, but I'm so glad that I wound up having my own business, and it's the end of it.
So today is April 13th, 2020, and with many businesses having to shut their doors because of the financial ripple effect caused by COVID-19, the story we're sharing today may be a window into the future of how we, as a community, learn how to work together as we recover from the economic aftermath of the coronavirus. Let me introduce to you a thought leader and a person that values community.
Hi, I'm Heather McManus, and I own Artistry Interiors and also Collaborate to Win.
Morning wake-up call. 15 minutes to kick off your week with design motivation. Real-life stories from designers making an impact. Brought to you by My Doma Studio. Simplify and grow your business. Stay organized, enhance your value, increase your profitability with software built for designers by designers. And The Design Collective, an online collective of furniture and home decor boutiques. We believe that our local brick-and-mortar furniture and home decor stores are the tastemakers in our communities. Shop with us and support stores in your local communities and beyond. Produced by the Live Broadcast Network. Podcast-style shows you can listen to or watch. Streamed live and rewatchable on your favorite social media platforms. Live life with authenticity. Now, let's get your day started with another inspiring story from within the design community with Morning Wake Up Call.
Now, obviously, Heather is not from the future. Instead, Heather started her business in...
I started my interior design business in 2012.
Here's Heather talking about launching her design business.
So when I launched, we had just had the major recession, and I've been reading tons of books. I had the dream of having my own business for a while. So, I came up with the business name. I got my website going. That was really what I think brought me my first clients. Surprisingly, I know it's not the normal case, but I got excellent clients from my website.
With her very first clients, Heather learned a valuable lesson that would lead to a lot of change.
I was really lucky. I had some ideal clients right away that needed a full house. They trusted me. They were really sweet to work with, it just clicked, and it was great. So one of my first clients had a smaller home. It was historic, and they wanted to go very traditional, and they wanted it to be kid-friendly. And so for those first jobs, I took them to the furniture store to find every piece that they needed for the entire house. And, I had my floor plan, and we made sure that it all worked out, and I was able to photograph these houses. So my portfolio looked amazing very quickly. I was just so lucky to have those really amazing clients.
Well, that all sounds great. So what was the catch?
And I made 10% when I went to the furniture store and sourced there. And, at the time I thought that was pretty good. But then after I talked with a mentor, she said, you can't really grow a business. You'll have trouble sustaining that business model at 10%. And there's really no room to grow. You won't be able to market the way you would like to market or invest in something if you ever have the chance to do that. So you should really make, they always said, you have your hourly and then you have your markup of like 30%. And, you should be making at least that. So that's when I started thinking, okay, so how do I do that now? What is that about? And that was a whole journey in itself.
Let's pause there and take a minute to understand how pricing works. Heather explains.
To qualify and open an account direct with the manufacturer, you have to make an opening minimum to get the best price. And, it depends on the company. So some accessory companies, your opening price might be $1,000, which doesn't sound like that much, except that if the lamp is only $200, then you need to really stock that cart full of things, for one house. And that's how I wound up opening accounts. So when I went down to High Point, I was focused on, I need an upholstery company, I need a case good company, and I need an accessory company. So I did tons of homework. I made lots of phone calls beforehand. So I would just go and visit the ones that I really honed in on. And because I had a new client that needed, again, a new house full of furniture, I was able to make these big openings. So the upholstery company I chose, they needed a $10,000 opening order. And I was able to do that easily with the one client. I opened a case good company. I opened an accessory company. So because of the one client and my focus on opening these accounts, I was able to get that really good stocking dealer price, which is so much better than a designer discount. It's what the stores get. So you can say, to my clients, I usually say to them when they're comfortable purchasing from me and it's that situation, I say, you can order through me. I will give you the same price as what you would get at the store, but you're going to get my level of service and detail. You get me along with that. So they buy from me because I'm able to give them the same discount. So they're happy, I'm happy, and hopefully the manufacturer is happy too.
So, seems pretty simple. The more product you order, the greater the discount. So now let's take a minute to understand how designers make money.
Because, you have a ebb and flow to how business comes through. You'll have 1 month where it seems like you've got, 3 jobs, 2 of them are really big, 1 of them is a small job, and then the next month you may not have anything.
So just to be clear, interior design is a service-based profession, and just like any other business, it's good to create multiple streams of revenue. One that is more passive, while the other may require a more dedicated effort. In the food industry, it takes more work to prepare the food, so a passive way to generate more revenue is through beverage. There is little effort involved, and the return can be good, but the profit margin is based on volume and sourcing. So if you sell a lot of wine, you'll probably get a good rate. But this is where sourcing comes in. For designers, if they buy through a furniture store, there's less of a discount because the store needs to make their money too. But clients sometimes need to touch and feel a product. Heather explains.
I still, honestly, next week I'm going to take a client to a furniture store because they're a nervous Nelly type of person, and I want the comfort of going to the furniture store. So I still do that in certain cases. It's just better to have the most options that you can. So for this client and this particular thing, they absolutely have to sit on it. We're going to the store.
I'm not sure about you, but I can spend hours in a furniture store. So what could go wrong with going with my designer to a furniture store?
So locally, I try to source from the major design center, which happens to be in New York City. This one chandelier for a client, I was finishing up her full house, her entire house. We did through a furniture store. This was like the second full house of furniture that I was only taking 10% on. And at the end of it, I'm like, there has to be a way for me to source this directly through one of these trade sources. So I call, we won't say any of the names, the design center in New York, and I need this chandelier. I want it to have this finish, this crystal, this size, this hue. We price it up, and now I'm confirming the price. I say, okay, so this is my price, right? This is my designer price. And what do people typically mark up? And now in this world, right, I'm still making 10% on things. And it was an expensive chandelier. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do 20% because I don't want to overcharge and I want to get the sale. So I present my clients the chandelier with only a 20% markup from what I have been told is my designer price. my wholesale trade price. She goes to the store locally, finds the same exact chandelier that we just picked out for less than what I could buy it for direct from my trade stores. Now, I don't care if I lose a sale. One chandelier doesn't break you. However, this client then went into a panic over every piece we had purchased because now she thinks I must have overcharged her on everything. And we were going to do the basement. She was about to hire the contractor to get the basement done. We hadn't finished some details, some window treatments, some kids' rooms, but we had almost completed the whole house. Now all of a sudden she does not trust me. This woman lives in my town, has a ton of kids, knows everybody, has 2 different businesses. This should have been the referral to set me up for a lifetime, but it ruined the relationship because I tried to go to a design center to source something, and I guess I was lied to because there's no way that my trade price is less than a store.
Heather had one more problem. Here she is to explain.
I had opened the account with the upholstery company easily, no problem. But the next year, my sales rep said to me, if you don't do $20,000 this year, we have to take your account away from you, which means the rack of fabric that I did, all the work, all that stress.
So it's said that there's some people that see a fire and run away, and others that see a fire and run to help out.
So I'm a bit tenacious. I don't know if it's my background or what, but if I see a problem, maybe it's because I like puzzles, but I try to find a solution. And I do this in my design work too. If there's like an odd wall in a living room that's making your floor plan difficult, I see that as like, this is going to make the design so much better because you have to think outside the box.
So here's Heather's solution to the pricing problem.
So I had in the back of my mind the idea of inviting other designers to purchase this company from me and only get a small little portion, and that way they would have the best price. I would have a little bit of money, and then my account could stay in a good place with everybody being happy and satisfied with the yearly minimums that the companies set out. So I invited 5 people to start off with.
Great idea. What do you call it, and what is your mission?
Collaborate to Win brings interior designers together so that we all are able to buy the products that we need for our projects at the best possible price.
This sounds like the perfect answer. So what was the reaction?
And now, Caroline had a couple of companies that I wanted to order from. Elizabeth had some companies that I could order from. So suddenly, just with the 5 of us, we have so much more creative options of places to source at good pricing, and we're helping each other. And it was just so natural and easy. It worked great. Then before I know it, I've got people asking, can I join? Can I be part of that? And it expanded and it expanded until the point where I decided this is a business. I'm doing so much work on the back end of things that I really need to make this a full business. And so Collaborate to Win was born.
So if I'm a designer and I'm struggling to hit my minimums, how would I join Collaborate to Win?
Yes, our website has an application. We have a contract that we make you sign, and I personally vet every single person. I'm looking at your website, your social media. I'm just want to verify that everyone is really an interior designer, decorator, or stager, and just to weed out anyone that might be trying to join for other reasons. We check out your resale number to make sure that's all in order. And then once you're approved, you pay an invoice for a year, and you're in.
I love that Heather saw a problem and found a solution. Heather, can you give us some closing thoughts?
I believe in abundance. I think there's more than enough to go around. I think that if you do well, that makes it easier for me to do well. And there are companies that love the fact that they're part of Collaborate to Win. They're 100% on board. I'm Heather McManus, and I'm creator and founder of Collaborate to Win, and also owner of Artistry Interiors. You can find us on the web at www.artistry-interiors.com, and also Collaborate to Win is www.collaborate-to-win.com.
Thanks for catching another great episode of Morning Wake Up Call. Just 15 minutes to kick off your week with design motivation. Brought to you by the Live Broadcast Network. Podcasts you can watch. Live life with authenticity. If you would like to be a guest on Morning Wake Up Call, visit us at www.thelivebroadcastnetwork.com/wakeupcallguest. Well, that's it for us, folks. Remember to hit share, hit like, or even host a watch party. And remember to tune in next time for another great episode of Morning Wake Up Call.